Good morning, guys. Mr. Duggan here. Today, this week, we are going to go over masses. So to start this off, I wanted to give you a fun fact. Did you know that 75% of all of the tornadoes in the world occur here in the United States? Why does this occur? Well, if you look at a map of the United States, what you don't see on this map is right here on the right side, you have the Appalachian Mountains, which kind of blocks air from here. And over here, you have the Rocky Mountains, which kind of blocks air from here, but it funnels all of these other air masses into the center of the United States. That's why you have most of the severe weather happening here in the United States. If you looked at the documentaries I posted, Moore, Oklahoma, that was right in here. There was Joplin, Missouri, that was right in here. When these three unlike air masses meet, cold, dry, with warm, moist air, they don't like each other. And because of their density differences, they start to move. And based on the angle that they come at each other, they could create tornadoes. So, Tornado Alley is in the center of the United States where most of the world's tornadoes occur because of the ability of very different air masses to meet and interact. An air mass, this is important, is a large area of air that has the moisture and temperature characteristics based on the area of Earth that it formed over. So if an air is sitting over land for a while, it'll be dry. If an air is sitting over the ocean for a while, it'll be wet. So that's what I start off with here with this first table is the moisture is based on if it forms over land or water. If the air mass forms over the continents, which is land, it's dry. The map symbol for that is C, and it stands for continental. It tells us the air mass formed over the continents. If the air mass forms over the ocean, which is a marine environment, if you've never heard of the word marine before, marine refers to the ocean environment. It is going to be wet, all right? M for maritime is the word that your reference tables uses. All right, you see M, that means it's wet. The next thing we look at is temperature. So if it forms over the tropic regions, which is areas closest to the equator in the middle of Earth, it's going to be warm. And for that, we use a T for tropical. And if the air mass forms close to the poles, North and South Pole, the air is cool for P, polar. And your reference tables also has a very cold symbol. If the air mass forms at the Arctic Circle, it is very cold. If you ever felt those days in the winter where it's just like 8 degrees, maybe minus 4 degrees, that's because the jet stream dips so low that all of that Arctic air from the North Pole comes right to us, and that's miserable. We don't like that air mass. We don't. That one can stay up there. All right. So for the activity, the first part is to describe the air mass. To describe the air mass, meteorologists use symbols that represent the moisture and temperature of the air mass. The table below to the left, right here, is from page 13 of your reference table. Use the table and your knowledge of the air masses from what we got up here to complete this table below. So what I want you guys to do here is describe the moisture, wet and dry, and temperature for each of the following air masses. The first one is done for you as an example. So I'm going to leave this one up here as an example. But continental, all right, that means it is going to be dry, and Arctic means it is very cold, all right? Your next one, very similar, okay, because that C is continental. It is also dry and cool. All right, you see how I'm just taking, all right, I'm using the C, which I know stands for continental, and I know that's dry. And then I have the Arctic, the polar, the tropical. Arctic is very cold, polar is cool, T is tropical. And I just go through here, and that just gives me an idea of what this air mass is going to be. Dry and cool. And I'll let you guys work on those other three on your own. The next part can get a little tricky, is we have this diagram, and it kind of shows you the source region of where these air masses are forming. So if you look at one, it is often the ocean. So the ocean, that automatically tells you that that is going to be maritime. And it's in the northern part, all right? And I kind of color-coded this, guys, for you. I left it blue so you would know that it's cool. All right, so that would be MP, maritime polar. All right, number 2. All right, 2 looks like it's going to be, it's over land, and it's, notice how it's further north than the others. It's right over Alaska. Alaska is in the Arctic Circle. So this one will be CA. Very cool. Now, This third one moves a little bit further south. All right. Still over land, so it's continental and it is polar. And then 4 is over the ocean. So that's M, polar. All right, so I did all the polar ones for you. All right, you should notice that the bottom ones will be tropical, and that's why I used red, because they're going to be a lot warmer because they're closer to the equator. So as far as whether or not it's maritime or continental, if you see it over the ocean or over water, like this one is, that's maritime, and if it's over land, it's continental. Fairly simple. And then at the bottom for here, I have just some review questions. What percentage of tornadoes occur in the United States? What two characteristics does an air mass obtain? Temperature and moisture. What type of air mass would form over central Canada? So if you don't know where central Canada is, I'll help you with this one, all right? That would be a continental polar, all right? Canada, that's land. Central Mexico, that's also land. So that's also going to be continental, but it's tropical. Mexico is warm. The Gulf of Mexico, that is water, and that is also tropical. Off the coast, so if you look up here, where are we? Right here. That continent is Greenland, very cold, very high north, but off the coast, so in the water here, that would be maritime polar. All right, guys. I hope this was easy. I hope this was fun, and I hope you guys are doing well. All right, have a good one.